900 people, one mountain, and an empire that refused to lose. This wasn't a battle. It was Rome proving a point, even if it took building a mountain to do it. Picture this: the Judean desert, 73 AD. The sun doesn't rise here. It attacks. Below, the Dead Sea shimmers like poured glass. Above it, cut from solid rock, rises a fortress that shouldn't exist. Masada, 1,300 feet of sheer cliff. No road, no easy path, just stone, sky, and silence. Now listen, that sound isn't thunder. It's 12,000 Roman soldiers, marching in perfect formation across open desert, dust rising behind them like a second army made of smoke. The ground doesn't just shake, it surrenders. And at the top of that impossible cliff, less than 1,000 men, women, and children watch the dust cloud grow. They know exactly what it means. Rome has come to finish what it started. To understand why this moment mattered so much, you have to go back further. Decades earlier, King Herod, paranoid, brilliant, terrified of losing power, built Masada as the ultimate insurance policy. A palace fit for a king, perched somewhere no army could reach. Storerooms packed with grain, cisterns carved deep into rock to catch and hold rainwater for years. He built it so that even if his entire kingdom collapsed, he would survive. He never needed it. But decades later, a group of Jewish rebels, the Sicarii, did. In 66 AD, the Jewish rebellion against Rome exploded. Years of brutal fighting followed. By 70 AD, Jerusalem had fallen. The Second Temple, the spiritual heart of a nation, burned to ash. The rebellion Rome had sworn to crush was, by every official measure, over, except for one place. A small group of rebels and their families had fled to Herod's old fortress in the desert, and from up there, safe behind impossible cliffs, they held out. 3 years after Jerusalem fell, Masada still stood. For Governor Flavius Silva, this wasn't about strategy anymore. It was about pride. Because if the mightiest army on earth couldn't take a rock defended by a few hundred rebels, what did that say about Rome? So Silva marched. 15,000 men, siege equipment, and enough supplies to camp in the desert for as long as it took. Against them, roughly 960 people. Fighters, yes, but also elderly parents, wives, children. No reinforcements, no escape route, no hope of rescue. By every rule of war, this siege should have ended in days. It took Rome months. At first, they tried the obvious. Surround the base, starve them out. Wait, but Masada's cisterns and grain stores meant the defenders weren't just holding a fortress. They were holding time itself against an empire that hated waiting. Weeks passed, then a month. Soldiers grumbled, officers grew restless. An empire this powerful stalled by a cliff? Rome doesn't do stalemates. So Silva made a decision that would become one of the most extreme engineering feats in ancient military history. If the mountain wouldn't let them in, they would build a second mountain to reach it. Not a metaphor, an actual ramp of earth, timber, and stone, rising hundreds of feet up the fortress's western slope, engineered to carry a siege tower directly to the walls. And here's the detail that turns this from impressive into horrifying. Who do you think built that ramp? Not Roman soldiers. Jewish prisoners, forced to haul stone and earth up the very incline that would be used to destroy their own people, knowing the defenders above wouldn't fire on their own. It wasn't just military engineering, it was psychological warfare, built one basket of dirt at a time. Month after month, the ramp climbed higher, 200 feet, 300, closer to the walls every single day. And finally, in the spring of 73 AD, Roman soldiers wheeled a massive siege tower up their man-made mountain, armed with an iron battering ram built to crack stone. The defenders of Masada watched it climb. They knew exactly what was coming next. When the ram finally cracked through the wall, Roman soldiers expected chaos, screaming, a desperate last stand. Instead, they found silence. According to the ancient historian Josephus, the defenders made a final choice rather than face capture and slavery. Rather than surrender, most of the fortress's inhabitants chose to die by their own hand, a small number remaining behind to confirm it had been carried out. When Roman soldiers finally walked through the breach they had spent months building toward, there was no battle to win. Just silence. Just smoke. Just an empire staring at an empty fortress it had needed an entire mountain to conquer. Rome technically won, but nobody standing in that room felt like a victor. 2,000 years later, Masada isn't remembered as a Roman triumph. It's remembered as the place where a mountain wasn't enough to break the human will to choose freedom on their own terms. Rome built an entire mountain to win this war. History remembers who they built it against. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing history video.